Good evening. Good evening. This time I will show my five security program in my system. So let's start. So there are five security program in my system. One is um, creating a database password. Two is creating login form. Three is encryption in saving data in database. Um, Fourth is using password requirements in saving and updating the data. Five is performing backups. So first is the um, create database password. So this is the example of um, um, MS Access database that has a password. So you have to it is required to enter password for an authentication. So what part in the program it will be applied? Of course, in the database file. So why I put this kind of security in my program? So to provide the first line of defense against unauthorized access to our database file. So second is creating login form. So this is like an example of a login form. What part in the program it will be applied? So it will be applied in the first form before accessing the system. And why I put this kind of security in my program? So because login form is used to enter authentication credentials to access a restricted page of form. The login form contains a field or for the username and the other for the password. So they are a security measure designed to prevent unauthorized access to confidential data. So next is the third is the encryption in saving the data. So first, what is an encryption? So encryption is the process of taking plain text like a text message or email and scrambling it into an unreadable format called ciphertext. So this helps protect the confidentiality of digital data either stored on a computer system. So an example of an encryption of the word hello, we encrypt it to an unreadable text called ciphertext. So what part in the program it will be applied? So it will be applied um, in register forms, in when we create new users form, and of course in the add and update data form. So and why I put this kind of security in my program? So of course encryption algorithm can use to protect uh, password. So on registration, plain text password or username or other data are encrypted and saved to your database. So when someone view the data in the database, so uh, he or she cannot read it because it is encrypted text. So how will I achieve this kind of security? Of course, creating encryption method before saving a database to make the data unreadable. So that is the encryption of um, data. So next is using password requirements before saving data. So this is an example. You need to um, input password before um, before saving the data or updating the data. So what part in the program it will be applied? Of course, in adding and updating form. When you add a data and a form and a data, it will requires a password. So why I put this kind of security in my program? Because to secure the saving process in the system when someone is trying to add a data in a system. So how will I achieve this kind of security? Of course, create a password form before saving the data. So 5. So create backup. So this is example of creating backup form. So what part in the program it will be applied? So in settings form or backup forms. So why I put this kind of security in my programs? Of course, to create a copy of database in case someone will edit or delete or remove it or remove the database file. So how will I achieve this kind of security? Create backup forms to copy your database file to any removable disk. So that is my 5 security in my system. And thank you.